All right, guys, if I get asked one time, I get asked 100 times to do some videos on sod. So that is what we are going to do here. Y'all know this has become a major part of my business, and frankly, a major part of our revenue now. We've just about doubled our revenue by doing a job or two here and there compared to our just our mowing. But this is not going to be an all-encompassing video for start to finish on sod. To be honest with you, I've got something up my sleeve for Turf Pros Academy that is just going to be an absolute, well, if you're interested in doing sod, it's going to be what you want. So anyways, let's go ahead and jump into it here. We have an existing lawn here, right? And that is absolutely terrifying for people to figure out, what the heck do I do with the existing grass? Well, I'm showing you right here, man. You take this cultivator and you flip it. I've seen guys use the Harley rake. You've got to pile it all up. You got to get that material out of there. But the cultivator, it puts it down. All right, it flips it down into the soil. All right, watch this. Okay, so utilities companies, as they come out and mark the yard, they're going to do their thing. We're going to pick these flags up because none of the stuff that they marked over here was going to be in my way. But not the internet lines, even if they do get marked, they are going to be way, way too shallow. And you've got to be able to run your machine, right? So what you have to do is you have to find where it goes into the house, okay? So we're going to locate the point of entry to the house, and we're going to gradually start tugging on it. All right, here's where it comes in, and we're going to find it. You got to get a shovel and gradually work that thing out, and then you can take your marking tape and mark this. People do not want to be without their internet, okay? So something you have to do. All right, number two, to really do this the best way, you need to be able to run your machine in the entire yard. The other way is to burn this out and then bring in topsoil and dress this up. But the correct way is get this stuff out of the way, mark it. That way you can use your machine the way you need to. So it's hard work digging that stuff out, but honestly, the prep work is the tough part. Okay, so we dug up the internet line. We know where it is. Everything's all flagged out. You got all your soil flipped over. You've cut in the edges, which that honestly is an absolute freaking nightmare, is cutting in the edges. That's really where all of the work is. You get the equipment that can flip the soil over, but just getting your own technique down, that really is the art in this whole thing. Now, I've seen guys do this by taking sod cutters and actually cutting out the lawn. And to be honest, I've done that a few times. It's horrible. I do not recommend doing it. There's so much freaking material to take over, man. Like this cultivator, it flips it over. It does an outstanding job of making the existing vegetation just disappear. So it tills it, and there's that basket roller on the front that ends up just kind of compressing the soil. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of prep work that you got to do, whether you want to use a land plane or use this basket on this cultivator again to compress everything down. And then, frankly, there's just a whole lot of hand raking. Like sod, it's super labor intensive. There's no way around it. So if you're thinking that I'm just going to do sod work and it's going to be great, no, you need people to help you doing this. You'll only be doing this by yourself. And you really, it takes a long time, frankly, to really get your own technique and your own process down. But anyways, you can see I'm kind of cross-hatching here. I went horizontally, now I'm going vertically, and then I'm going to hit it diagonally. And I've just found by hitting it from multiple different directions, you're able to really improve the softness of the yard, and really get it ready for planting. So what we're going to do is, okay, you have got your yard all prepped out. It's all dirt, assuming you brought in a truckload of topsoil and you got everything level how you want it. And you got to order the sod, right? All right, well, what I do is before I order the sod, I will confirm my measurement, okay? I have ran in this before where, somebody just assumed that we had the right measurement, but we did not, and we ordered the wrong amount of sod. It was a disaster. So I go in, and you can see here, this is Moasure. I have done videos on this recently, guys. Used to do handwritten notes. Moasure I keeps my files for like my projects. So this guy, Mark, we're going to go left yard main right here. You can see he has a right of drive area, but he just decided the left side of the yard. So actually, you know, what you're looking at, I'm gonna spin this around for you so you can like kind of see the actual perspective. All right, now you're looking at it from this perspective right here. I'll pull up a picture. That's what you're looking at. The driveway's on the right-hand side. So we'll come back to the picture so you can see here. So the driveway's on the right-hand side, house is up there, there's a flower bed. Now I'll switch to a 3D view, and you can see right here, okay, the bottom left-hand side is a high point. This yard was very, very strange. The street, the curb, the whole street area set up substantially higher than the rest of his lawn, which frankly is the incorrect way to be grading a lawn. Like, the lawn should be graded away, right? Like, there's literally nothing we could do. The street is higher than his entire lawn, so the best you can do is slope everything away from the house in those scenarios. But you're going to have water holding in certain areas, and frankly, you can bring this up on Moasure and show them. If you guys are interested in this, there's a link in the description. This is a no-brainer. Moasure doesn't pay me to show you that stuff, but they said, hey, if you think this is interesting to your audience and something they could use, then you should share. And I do, guys. Like, I don't share anything that I don't really use, and I absolutely love that Moasure tool. All right, so. Next here, the theme of this, the reason I'm showing shoveling dirt like Jonathan White showing this, because I need to make a point that dirt fixes problems whenever you have little holes. Okay, so you can get it pretty level with the machine, but at the end of the day, guys, there's still just a certain amount of hand raking that has to be done before the sod goes down. It really makes a difference. If you just throw it down, it's gonna be super uneven, but by just raking, it really improves just the quality of the job that you're doing. So again, I was talking about that dirt fixing problems. It really does. There is going to be little areas, little inconsistencies in the lawn that having dirt on hand, guys, it fixes all those little problems. It really does. Now look, this is the Vermeer, the 925. I got the 48-inch forks here. This is over half of a pallet. There's 500 square foot on this pallet, and it's giving this machine everything it can handle. But I will say this, I really was never even expecting this machine to be able to pick up over half of a pallet. And this is soaking wet sod too. It's very heavy. I am more than thrilled. I knew up front that I would not be able to. There's something important I want to show you all here. I knew up front there'd be no way that this thing could pick up a whole pallet, but it does everything we need it to. Look at this bottom left-hand side right here. Do you see all this grass and vegetation coming up? Why didn't I run the machine in here? And why did I not till this area up and grade it out? There is a rat's nest of wires and cables buried super shallow in here. And you don't know that, unless you are pulling your dig tickets and doing all the things that you're supposed to do. And the best thing that you can do in this scenario is what we do is I will burn this out with a string trimmer, and then we come in and then top dress this with topsoil. But, if I run the tiller in here, I am going to have a rat's nest of utility cables tangled up in that tiller. So I just wanted to make that side note right here on that area that didn't get prepped up. That's why we do that. And we occasionally do that in areas where we cannot run the machine for those reasons. So again, the other thing that I want to mention about the machine is that, yes, it can pick up and move sod around and stuff like that, but like, dude, it is so important to be able to pick up sod from waist level without bending over. All right, you see me sitting here hand raking. There's little inconsistencies. Like, look, this lawn is actually pretty dang level with the machine, but there's just some inconsistencies that a good landscape rake will solve. And again, having that dirt on hand makes a huge difference. So you see me bending over here. That is about the lowest that I want to bend over, okay? Anything lower than that, like I'm wanting the machine. So you can see the machine here in the bottom right-hand corner. That is a very small bit of sod. And if we were having to bend over, it's just miserable doing that, guys. And unless you've done these types of jobs where you've had to grab pallets and try to slide them out of the way, or worse yet, you have the pallet staged in the wrong daggum spot in the yard, and then you're working backwards trying to work around the pallet, and then you got this big hole in the yard, because you have worked around the pallet. It's just an absolute nightmare. So having the machine on hand has been an absolute game changer, because previously what I would do is I would just rent the machine, you know, for the prep day, but I wouldn't have it for the install day. Those are two separate days, right? And just having it on hand with the forks, like, look at this, we're just like picking it up waist high, and you don't understand how important that is unless you just went through the absolute sheer misery of not being able to grab a pallet of sod, pick it up out of your work area like we're doing right here, and moving it out of the way so you can work. All right, this lawn is really coming out nice. I've had 2 neighbors come up to me since we've been doing this work, and you will find, guys, like when you're doing sod work, this stuff sells itself. Like, everybody wants a new lawn, period. Everybody wants a new lawn. Like, who doesn't want a new lawn, right? Are you kidding me? Look at that. I should have showed you like the before picture of what this place really looked like. It was miserable, but that's the thing. These jobs, they absolutely sell themselves. And string line here, that keeps everything nice and tight. That keeps the neighbors happy. You know, you go over there and start messing around on the neighbor's property, you know, they're not happy with you. So run the string line. So again, you see Tyler over here. He is working off that pallet. Job's really coming out nice. Look at the different color variations in the sod. This just comes from the sod farm. Sometimes they get cut from different areas of the field. They might have a little bit different fertilization, but you know, give it about 2 weeks, everything will be blended in together perfectly. But look at it. This place came out absolutely fantastic. So that is a little crash course, guys, on some sod work, because you've been asking for it. Just wanted to put it out there for you. The other thing I would say, if you are interested in sod work, I said I have a full daggum. I got a trick up my sleeve for you guys, and if you're interested, it's like a no-brainer. It's like, hey, if you want to do sod work, I've got something coming for you that, well, I'll just be honest with you, it's going to put a lot of money in your pocket, and I'm not going to share it on YouTube, because I feel like it's so valuable that I just feel like it's so valuable that you need to have some skin in the game to get a hold of this information. So I'm just going to leave that at that. I'll give you a little bit of a teaser. Hopefully this kind of brought you up to speed on the basics of some of our process for installing sod. I'm going to end this video with a promotional video that I do. I share this to my personal social media. It's a very short clip, but I share it and it gets shared around, and then it just kind of, like I said, it just generates more work for us. So this is an example of a little social media post that I would make on a job like this. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Y'all take care.